If you've got a turbocharged car, you're going to want to watch this episode of Andy's Auto Sports Shorts. We're talking about blow-off valves. A blow-off valve, also known as a compressor bypass valve or a pop-off valve, is designed to vent excess boost during shift changes to keep that turbo spooled up. Blow-off valves make a recognizable whistle when you back off the throttle under high boost situations. Sounds something like this. So that's what a blow-off valve is. Now, why do you want to buy one? First of all, not all turbos come with a blow-off valve. In fact, most factory systems don't have a blow-off valve at all. It doesn't actually add any horsepower, but the reason you want to buy one is it allows the turbo to stay spooled up, so you'll have access to your horsepower more quickly after shifts, which is then going to let you blaze the tracks even faster. So in order to understand what a blow-off valve does, you need to understand boost. So here is boost in a nutshell. Boost is extra air or extra pressure that is being forced into your engine by a turbocharger or a supercharger. This allows your engine to actually use more air than it could take in naturally. So if you have a 2-liter engine and you have 8 pounds of boost, you're taking in that much more air than it could otherwise ingest by itself. For people with factory turbos or low boost levels, a compressor bypass valve is going to help you, but when you get into the higher boost levels and bigger turbos, compressor bypass valves are definitely a must. What they do is they help eliminate compressor stall between shifts. Now let's talk about compressor stall for just a second. Compressor stall is when that throttle blade closes between shifts, all that air backs up back up against the compressor wheel or the turbo wheel, and it stops it from spinning. So the moment that you put it in the next gear and you slam that throttle wide open again, it takes that compressor just a split second in order to catch back up to where it was. By installing a compressor bypass valve or a blow-off valve, you're going to eliminate that compressor stall. So if you bought an aftermarket turbo kit for your car, it probably came with a compressor bypass valve or a blow-off valve, so you may not need one. But check the specifics of that kit to make sure it came with one, because if it didn't, you definitely should put one in your shopping cart. If you're going to put an aftermarket blow-off valve on your vehicle, you definitely need to make sure you get it tuned after you've got it installed. The reason that you do this is the vehicle is designed usually with the mass air meter before where the blow-off valve is going to be. So the computer is already adding the fuel for the excess air that you're going to be putting into the engine. Now that you're actually blowing some of that off, you're going to have a bunch of extra fuel in the motor, so as soon as you get back on the throttle, it's going to be a little soggy or possibly even backfire. Now let's take a look at our STI and show you where the bypass valve is on this car. Okay, so on our STI, the intercooler is actually mounted directly above the engine. Now there is very little intercooler piping, so this HKS blow-off valve actually bolts directly to the cold side of the intercooler. This is after it's already gone through that cooling process. When you have a front mount intercooler, you're going to want that compressor bypass valve to definitely be after it's gone through the intercooler process. The reason that you want this is that air compresses and cools down. As soon as you get back on the throttle, that boost is going to go right where it needs to, right into the intake manifold. Popular brands we carry are Apexi, HKS, and Greddy. We hope you've learned something today, and we'll see you on another Andy's Auto Sports Short.